day, everybody. It's me, Tricia, Creative Unique Treasures. Welcome back to my channel. We have this, our next shirt, and it's an extra large, 100% cotton, green and white, and maybe black or dark green plaid, I believe. And it's like I said, it's an extra large, and I have it pinned. We're going to do a little bit different upcycling on this one. I'd like to try, I think it's called a Babydoll kind of shirt, and so I have it pinned where I want to cut it, and I thought I'd come on camera and show you my thinking process of why I want this high. I'm going to go from the top down to 18 inches, which is right to, I believe I'm going to go below this white or above it. It just depends on how I think I'm going to have to go maybe above it. So I'm going to do that and go above it instead of below it, because below it will put me really close to that button. But although I don't even need that button because that's getting cut off. So okay, so I'm going to go below. That settled that one. I'm going to go below that. So this will be all cut off along here. So this will be all cropped up like that. Then here's our final button, so that won't be in the way. The button won't be in the way of the sewing machine. I am going to cut the pocket off because the pocket has a logo that I'm just not fond of. So we're going to cut the pocket off. And I'm going to save the collar for later on in the video, and I'll decide if I want to keep the collar or cut the collar off right here. But right now we're going to keep the collar. And the shirt sleeves, I would like to cut them off right here above this. I don't like this part. This is, to me, this is a manly, it's a men's shirt, of course, but it's too, you know, it's not feminine enough, and it's not pretty to me. So I want to take and maybe cut the sleeves off right about to there. But I'm not going to do that right this instant. That's going to be a thinking process. So right now I'm going to go ahead and cut on camera, I'm going to cut the pocket off. So here's the pocket. And I'm going to go on the inseam inside. And make sure I don't cut the seam off. Okay, and that's what I was talking about. There's a kind of like a logo. So that looks pretty cool. That'll be nice and frayed. You know, it'll start fraying. Alright, so that's done. Lay it back out. And I'm going to go ahead and pin to go below this line here, so I might as well just, I can go ahead and open up the shirt. But when I get to the back, I wanted to show you. So this, I'm cutting along here and I get to this seam right here, the side seam. And it's not matched up anymore. They didn't match this up with this. So I can no longer follow a line. But what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to be cutting on the bottom of the front. And so when I go to the back, I'll be cutting on the top of the white plaid part right here. So see how this matches, this goes here, and then I flip it over to the back, and then I follow this line. I wanted to show you that because it's a little bit tricky, and I had to think, well, for me it was a little tricky. So I had to think about how to do that, and it's like that on both sides, so that makes it easier for me. So here's the other side. So I'll be cutting along this edge, and then when I get to the back, I'll be cutting on the top part of the white. So I hope that makes sense to you. I had to think about it a little bit. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that, start cutting that. And I will make sure, I think I'm going to make sure that on the inseam underneath the armpit, this seam right here, I'm going to make sure I'm going down the same amount. So that's 8 inches, and then it is 8 inches on the back. So that makes it really easy. So there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'll lay it out. And just go for it. Here we go. So I'm going on the underneath and the front. Try to go as straight as I can. Okay. Alright, here I am at this side seam, and I'm on the underneath part. Now I'm going on the top part. So then cut through there. Alright. These plaid shirts and buffalo check and flannels make it so much easier. All right. And now I'm to the other side of the front, and I'll just continue on the bottom. All right. There we go. Here's this material. I'll be using this again. Okay, so that's cropped up, and I'll go ahead and do the last button. Well, the last button will be right here. Here we go. I'll do the top one up here. So there that is. I want to add, and what I want to add to the bottom of this is 2 ruffles going down. So probably about, let's see, if I put it, add it to there, probably about 6 inches for the first one. Let's see how long the shirt actually was, how much we cut off. Let's see how many inches. We cut off about, I'm going to say 11 inches. So we need to make a ruffle, I'm going to say 12 inches. Or maybe even longer. Maybe to make this shirt a little longer than 12 inches. So I think I'm going to do the first ruffle. I wonder if I should go, I'm doing my thought process with you guys. I wonder if I should go with a smaller one on the top and then a longer one on the bottom, or even, or a longer one on the top and a smaller one on the bottom. Decisions. Maybe I'll just do both of them at 8 inches. Or 7 inches. And then that will take it to 14 inches longer. But I'm going to figure that out, and I'll come back and let you know what I decided. Still up in the air about the sleeves. If I cut them off, I'm going to cut them off right here. And then add a little bit of a flare, not a lot of a flare, but a little bit of a ruffly type thing on the bottom of the sleeves. And still up in the air about the collar. Thanks for joining me. Okay, I measured, I came up with this brilliant idea. And I figured I had to go measure around the bottom of the shirt. But I thought, well, how come I can't just measure around the bottom that I cut off? So I had a smart moment for a moment, and so that's what I did. I measured the bottom of the shirt that we cut off, and I measured that, and it comes to 56 inches for the circumference of the shirt. So at 56 times 2, I doubled that, comes to 112, and I added 10 inches, and it comes to 122. That's how long both of our ruffles on the bottom are gonna have to be. 122 inches. And I'm going to do them 8 inches tall. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to write kind of cockeyed. And then 122 inches. So that's what I'm going to do. The ruffle for both of them. 2 ruffles. Have a great day. Okay, I got the shirt here, the green and white, and I think it's a darker green plaid. And I have the my ruffle, my first ruffle, because I'm going to do a double ruffle on this one and try that. And I have different pieces sewn together. And I measured the circumference of the shirt. It was 60. So I doubled that. So it was 120. And then I added about 6 inches. And I know I'm going to have plenty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to my machine and do like I've been doing. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, go ahead and check them out. Creative Unique Treasures. And I have about, I'd say about 7 or 8 shirts. So I'm going to take this to my machine and I'm going to go all the way around, follow this white line. I'm going to start and I'm going to overlap at about 2 inches. And then I'm going to pinch pleat. And I have some gold thread in my machine right now, and I'll just leave that in there. I want to kind of have a different contrast to this shirt. And I'll pinch pleat and just go all the way around. And then it'll be a ruffle. And then I'll try it on and then I'll see if it's long enough. I don't think it will be long enough, but it might be okay. Here is the piece that I cut off the shirt. So it might just be long enough. Maybe I'll just have one ruffle. You know me, I like to change my mind. But I'd like to really try to do 2. So I thought when I do this one on there, I thought I'd take this piece that I cut off and add that to the bottom for some of the ruffle. I don't have enough of that, but because I'm going to have to definitely make the second ruffle a lot longer than the first ruffle. So I'll go ahead and go do that. And I want to thank you all, and I thank you all for subscribing and commenting. And I want to show you, I want to show you something. I've been working on a custom order, which is wonderful. I have people starting to order shirts from me, and that's just, I'm so excited about that. And I wanted to show you the finished product. I didn't tape it because I didn't know how it was going to turn, how they were going to turn out, because I've never done a custom order, and it was kind of well, it was a new thing for me, and to know what the person wanted. This is a shirt that we bleached on a previous video, and the customer, she wanted birds and patches on this one. She just wanted it pretty much plain, but she did want birds and she did want some stitching. So I put that bird there on there, and I did some stitching on there, and I did some patches, some different patches, and did some extra stitching. So this one's, and she wanted to keep the pocket. She tried the shirt on without anything on it, of course, and then she liked it, but she wanted this one more plain. And then she picked out another shirt, and she wanted birds on this shirt too, on both sides. She didn't want the pockets, but she wanted the flared. She didn't want the pockets, so I cut the pockets out, and she wanted a bird on each side with some extra stitching, embroidery stitching. Let's see, like right through here and right through there. She wanted patches here and there. There's the other bird with some extra stitching. She wanted the flared sleeves, so there's the flared sleeves on this one. And I added a few more extra patches. This one's on the arm with some extra stitching, and then this one over here, I added another patch on there and did some extra stitching. I didn't do the patches exactly straight across. This one's up a little higher than this one. And here's the flared sleeves. And she wanted a ruffle on the bottom. So I went ahead and I did the ruffle like I've been doing, and I did the zigzag all the way around. And then on the back, I ended up not having enough of this flannel, so I ended up on the back using a different flannel. So there's that one. In the front, it looks like it has the same pattern of flannel until you know, the behind has a different. So I wanted to show you that. I'm super excited about getting some orders. But I'm going to go ahead and take that to my machine, and I'll be back and I'll show you. I'll show you that ruffle. Thanks for joining me. Okay, I changed my mind, of course. I thought about it, and I thought, okay, here's the shirt, here's the first ruffle, and here's the start of a second ruffle. I still have to add a lot more to make the second ruffle a lot longer. What I'm going to do, instead of sewing these two together, I'm going to take the shirt and move this aside. And I'm just going to concentrate on my ruffle. And I'm going to do this ruffle and make up the rest of this one. Then I'll sew these two together. And that way it'll be one solid ruffle. Then I'll put it to the shirt. I'll attach it to the shirt. I figure if I do this ruffle to the shirt, and then I do this ruffle to the shirt and the ruffle, I'll have a lot of extra stuff going on and a lot of material in front of me to maneuver. So I'm hoping that that'll be a little bit easier for me to get the ruffles done, connect the ruffles, and then connect it to the shirt. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I got this long ruffle done. This is the second ruffle that's going to go on the shirt. And I sewed altogether 240 inches of material, flannel. So it's very long, goes on and on and on and on. But I want to take it to my ironing board, and I'm going to put a seam, half-inch seam allowance, half-inch seam there, like that, on one of the edges. This is the top, this is the bottom. So I just want to put a half-inch, like a hem, all the way down the whole 240 inches. So that's what I'm going to do next. Take it to my iron, press it, then go to my machine, half-inch seam allowance, and do a straight stitch. And that's the next step, and I'll be right back. Okay, here's what we got so far. I put a hem on the first ruffle, right there. And I did that all the way around. And I put a hem on the bottom ruffle. And then I connected the two together by pinch pleating. So that turned out really cool. It's very long, it's 120 inches. The second ruffle is 240 inches. So there's that. So it keeps going and going and going. So here's what this is going to look like. It's going to be, and this will be pinch pleated to the shirt. This the top ruffle. So it will have some pleats too. So it'll be a gathered type thing on the on the bottom of the shirt. So what I'll do is I'll take this now. It's really long. I'll take this now over to my machine, take the shirt, and I'll add this bottom part to the shirt. I'll overlap a little bit like I always do, like an inch to inch and a half, and then I'll start pinch pleating. And I'll go in the same direction. I'll use gold thread because I like the contrast. And I'll do a straight stitch all the way around. All the way around. Follow this line right here on the plaid. And get that double ruffle on the bottom of the shirt. Let's see if I can lay it out here a little bit. So this will be pleated to the shirt, and this is already pleated to the top ruffle all the way around. So I'll go ahead and do that, a straight stitch on that, pinch pleat and straight stitch, and then I'll come around and I'll do the zigzag connecting that ruffle to the shirt like I always do, back and forth with the zigzag. And I'll come back and show you. Thanks for joining me. Okay, the next step I have to do is, take it to my machine, and this is the front of the shirt. But I still have this raw edge on the ruffles. So I'm going to fold them over. I'm going to do a double. And then go like that and fold it over and put a hem so that it has a nice hem down that edge, and then the same for this side. And I'll do a straight stitch close to this edge right here, and I'll come back and show you how that looks. Okay, here's the shirt. It's done. I've decided it's done. The only thing I'm going to do is take it back to my machine and do a zigzag connecting these two together along the bottom like I normally do. So the zigzag will show up on the front of the shirt, or all the way around on the front of the ruffle. Yeah, we left this one with with the sleeves. We did cut the pocket out, and it's already starting to fray, which is really nice. Left the collar on. It's very comfortable. And left the sleeves, but we cut it up, we cropped it up, and then we added 2 layers of ruffles. This first layer, and then the second layer we gathered. The first layer we pleated, and the second layer we pleated around the first ruffle. So it made it more flared out. It's more like a baby doll kind of shirt. I was debating on adding a piece of lace, but I kept putting it up there, and I have a lot of different colors of lace, and it just kind of took away from what's going on down here, and I think it has enough going on, so in my opinion. So I was going to add a couple pieces of lace, but the back is plain. And the back has the ruffle all the way going around. So I'll go ahead and put it on the mannequin and let you see it on the mannequin, or put it on me, take a picture. And I thank you so much for joining me. And if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it so much if you would. And if you like this content, leave me a comment and give me a like and all that stuff. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a blessed day.